Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ruka here, and Wait, hold on. Something feels different. What's going on?
Maria, what's different about you? You sound
What?
like you're from America now.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, that's not Maria.
Hey, wait a minute.
Wait,
Me?
hi, hi,
What the hell?
Hey,
Oi! Who you?
everyone.
Who this? Who
Hi.
this? What?
You phone who this? You phone who this?
Yes,
You folks
exactly.
who did.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 13 of our Idle Downtime. In case it wasn't obvious, well, first off, we have a full house today because we have a very special guest. You've heard her already. Please welcome Marley, aka Ruka. Hi, Marley.
Welcome! Welcome!
Thank you for joining.
Hey.
How are
Hi.
you doing?
Nice to meet you all.
Hey.
I'm good. I am good.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us this week. It's full house. We're gonna have a blast, I hope. On top of Marley, I'm here. Now I am the host for this time, and I'm joined by four fantastic people who I have the pleasure with doing this podcast on a very regular basis, pretty
Yay.
regular basis, I
Yeah,
would
pretty
say.
much, yeah.
Exactly. Derek, thank you for joining us. Maria, thank you for joining us. DX, thank you for joining us.
Hey.
And Meta, thank you for joining us too. Let's get into it. We have a few interesting things. Let's talk about STU. They released an MV. What's
Yeah.
everyone's thoughts about them? The sixth.
The six, yeah. And
And he
then
froze.
Eddie froze, as always.
Right at the start. This is what
Right
you
at
guys
the
were
start.
warning me about.
Yeah, basically, this always happens.
Oh, he's back. He's back. Maybe.
Really? Maybe? I'm not sure.
I heard him. Oh,
Yeah?
he's back.
He's back? Is he?
He's back. He's
Oh,
You're...
before the time.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah.
timing.
Yep.
great. As
Exactly.
always.
Of course. Who wants to go first?
I can go first, I think.
Yeah, go for it.
Basically, I love it. I love the song. I love the music video. It's like this really airy, artsy. It's like you almost feel like they are flying or in the sky somewhere, and it's just so stunning. The costumes absolutely perfect for it. If I nitpick on anything there, I would have gotten them to go barefoot, but that's just my taste. The shoes are really pretty
Yeah,
too,
I
and they
gotcha.
did it.
Yeah.
So, it isn't really, a criticism. It's more like, maybe it could have been even better for me. I think some people might like it more this way. And I think I've said this before, but the song sounds like a Ghibli song or
Yeah.
something. It has this grand feeling to it, like something big is going on, and like the world is huge and we're in it, and it just feels really, really amazing. And like another really minor criticism I would have is the choreo. Like I love the choreo for the most part, but I feel like the chorus is like a bit too jumpy. I would like more like smooth movements
Right,
instead of
right,
all the
gotcha.
jumpy little bounces. But that's once again, it's not a huge deal. It's like the choreo still fits really well. Most of the choreo is absolutely stunning as well, and I just love it from the bottom of my heart, honestly.
Awesome. That's
Awesome.
very awesome to hear.
Nice.
Praise is always good.
Huh?
Meta, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like it. I haven't really gotten into a place where STU has been a group that I like so much. They're more
Yeah.
existed for me. But I think this is gonna be my favorite STU single MV so far from them. I thought it was an interesting concept with the duality of how they did it, and it's a really nice song. And yeah, I don't have so many strong feelings about it because I don't really know who STU48 members are except Yumirin and Natsan.
Mhm.
So, but still, I really enjoyed it and I liked it a lot better than the other STU48 songs that I've heard. Not that they're all bad, it's just that I prefer this one of the ones I've heard.
Gotcha.
Makes perfect sense.
Mhm.
Really good. Marley, what do you think?
I have not seen it, but based on your guys' comments, I might check it out. It sounds really good, just based off what y'all have said.
Yeah.
Fair. That's
Okay.
okay. Rohandi, what do you think?
For me, the whole song itself, it felt like a Ghibli slash fairy tale type of song. It's quite low pace if you compare it to the single before this one. And as for the MV, I really liked the whole dream flight aspect to it. It felt like they were traveling from the normal plane to a parallel plane, basically, and it also became really apparent when they did the normal shot and the upside down shot together, basically, when you saw them in mirror. And I really loved the MV of it. All in all, I would say it's a really good song, actually. So I really enjoy it.
Interesting.
Awesome. Eric, your thoughts?
Sorry, me?
Your thoughts, yeah.
Sorry, you
watch
cut
it?
out there. For a second.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I feel it's very it's shot very beautifully. I'll give them that. I mean that, but I think at this point, I don't even know if that registers as a compliment for AKB and their crew, because the one thing they've always done extremely well is shoot their MVs. Like, they're gorgeous, almost without exception. Like, they know how to film these idols, and they do it extremely well. I thought Okada Nana looked a little too intense for me. I don't know. There was one part that had a little bit of bug eye action going on, and I didn't really care for that, because that's not the Nachan I know. But I mean, it's like whatever. It's, that's a minor pick. I think overall the song, it's mostly forgettable for me. Like, I won't ever listen to it, and I'll never like it. But the thing is, I like the fact that they put the heart into it. I can tell they did a good job with, like, the emotions they applied to it. That's very STU. It fits them completely. So if they would have done something completely different, it wouldn't have made sense. So it makes sense for them. But I've never been a fan of STU's music, like, ever. Like, I don't think there's even one song I like from them. So it kind of makes sense that I'd have this reaction. Overall, that's not a bad thing. It's gorgeously shot. The song is fine. There's no issue. But it's also just another one of these long line of songs we're hearing from producers that, oh, here's an STU song. You have to write it. Okay, thanks. You got a week. Oh, all right. I can tell. It's just,
It kind of sounds like it's like the overall concept and sound of SDO isn't really for you. So, it's
No.
not really surprising that an SDU song isn't for you.
not really. But the thing is, though, I just, again, I can't stress the fact that with AKB songs, we're always fortunate enough to have, like, videos usually that accompany them. And so because of that, I always look at AKB songs anymore as two songs. There's the MV and there's the song. And MV wise, A plus. I mean, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But song wise, they're typically coming in for me at, like, D minus, C, a low C, because it's just that same, like, for me, it's like this. There's no hook. There's nothing. I go, whoa, wow, okay, cool. But again, it's STU. I'm probably just already biased to begin with, and I hate to say that, but I do love Nachan. I'm happy for her. I'm happy the group is doing good. Obviously, there's a lot of STU fans out there that love STU. I will always support them, and just Nachan's in it, so of course I'm going to support them. But I don't know. I like the MV. I'll just say that. Sorry, that was a over long way of saying I didn't like the song, but I like the MV. Sorry.
That's perfectly fine. Actually, funny enough, my opinion is basically the same from everyone. I agree with Meta. I agree with Derek. Their mix of opinion is my opinion. Visually, it is great. I like it. It's the one that I like the most from STU. But
Yeah, me
kind of like
too.
Derek. Yeah, kind of like Derek. STU hasn't really been doing it for me. They don't do anything bad. I know it's been
No.
very popular with people.
And he
There he goes.
froze. And there he goes again. As always. Oh boy.
As I would do our show, one of us sitting.
Yeah.
Year, but the year before that,
He's back.
STU had like 3 songs, I think, I want to say, and people,
And there he
the
goes again.
visuals
Oh,
here. Even the song had strange going on that I kind of liked it. The others sounded too bland for me. This one kind of as well, but there was something there where I'm like, hey, I kind of like it for what it is. In the grander scheme of things, it won't be really high in that sense, but visually, I liked it. What they were doing, it's visually the most interesting I feel about all the MVs.
Yeah.
Kind of boring, for me at least. But and the bottom line is that I'm similar in Derek in that I think visually it looks great. The MV thumbs up. Well, 2 thumbs up, but 1 thumbs up is also the same. And the song, I don't dislike it, but not doing it for me. I don't feel like I ever check it out again. But I don't mean that in a bad way.
Same here.
So Stu,
Yeah.
thumbs up overall. They've been at least
Overall.
doing something, which is good.
Yeah.
Someone
Heroes.
else. No, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
here I also want to say, like, the way Derek said, it's like he is could be a bit biased against STU. I think I might be a bit biased for these types of songs because, well, Ghibli has been my childhood. So, like, any Ghibli-esque song, it will just hit me in the face with nostalgia and I will fall in love with it.
Of course,
So,
I don't think that's a bad thing, to be honest. I have the same
No,
with
of
AKB.
course
Like,
not.
I would be more prone to liking their songs than say, well, STU in this case. I don't think being biased for or against something is bad. It's just a matter of taste. You know, it's like saying
That's right.
anything blue is I will automatically like because blue is my favorite color. Because I will gravitate towards that more than whatever or anything else. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think everyone has that in some capacity, whether it's positively or negatively. Anyway, speaking about something visually interesting but completely different from STU, Yukirin. After a long time, I can't remember how long, she finally released a solo single. Can You Walk With Me? What's everyone's thoughts? Rohandi, you go first, because there's something interesting here, I think.
Yeah, for me, it was more like finally Yukirin had the chance to do her own thing, and I didn't see the MV that much, so I can't comment on the MV that much, but I heard the song a couple of times on my Spotify or something like that, or any other streaming service. But the song, I really enjoyed it actually. It's a rock type of song, and to be quite honest, it suits her. The song suits her for some reason. It's a good connect. The song and Yukirin make a good connection in this case, but I'm not sure about the MV since I've only watched it like one time, so I can't really comment on that yet. But overall, I really enjoy the song though.
Fair enough. Who else? Who has something to say about it? Who has seen it or heard it?
I've seen it. I've seen the music video.
Then go ahead.
And also, I looked real quick because I wanted to check because it had it in the description. It says 7 years and 5 months.
Gee,
Whoa.
that sounds.
That was
way
the
too
last time Yukirin released a solo single,
Whoa.
which
Yeah.
that surprised me as well.
That sounds way too long. But
Yeah. Oh, wow.
in a way, it makes sense. But damn, that's a very long time.
Yeah. But yeah, I really like this. Like, obviously, this is totally different from the other solo singles that Yukirin has put out. Where they're like kind of more of like, I guess you would say sort of a softer, lighter, idol-like image. Which is something that suits Yukirin because that's kind of like her ideal idol.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this is more of like a very rock sound, which I really like. And again, like you said, the music video is really interesting, basically showing her walking through this path, seeing all these images of like just basically her through the years of her career.
Oh, wow.
Facing the elements like wind, paper is blowing in her face, there's stuff on fire, and then there's the rain pouring on her. And that at the end where she's like standing at the cliff facing the sunset, that is a beautiful shot, by the way. And like basically hearing Yukirin do this style of song is really cool.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Oh, Derek, what do you have to say?
I got a lot to say, but so I'll go
Okay.
last. Everybody else
Okay.
chip in.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have much to say, so I'll go next, I think. For
Shoot.
me,
Sure.
it's like the song hits the exact spot for me to not like it, because I quite like rock music and I like idol music, but with rock music especially, I tend to gravitate more towards the extremes of it, and this is, I would say, I would describe it as mild rock,
Yeah.
and with rock, I tend to listen to, the most depressing stuff available, and the hardest, most depressing stuff available. Like one of my all-time favorite rock bands is Linkin Park.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
for comparison,
Oh, gotcha.
so it hits the exact spot where it's like I quite like it, but I know I won't ever listen to it.
No, it's fair enough. Mette, what do you have to say?
I liked it. I didn't love it, and maybe because Yukirin has never been one of my biggest favorites in AKB, even though I love her
Fair.
because of who she is. But I thought the imagery used in the MV was really cool. Having her walk through her past, having her grow up, having her go through hardship in that sequence, I think it was really cool. It's a really nice song. I could see myself listening to it again, and yeah, I liked it, but I'm not sure if it was quite for me, even though it's Yukirin, so she's
Mm.
great.
Makes sense. That makes sense. So far, I'll go before Derek. So far, similar opinions. Like I side with that. Like I liked it, but I don't love it. I think concept-wise, it looks interesting. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of cool. I mean, someone like Yukirin who's been doing it for so long, doing an MV like this, that's nice. I really liked the shots where she was, walking towards the wind and the wind blew her hair. That was actually really pretty. It's maybe not the most original, but I liked seeing that of her. I liked this. It's not a set, but like the indoor shots where she's basically singing, and there's a band behind her. Her costume I really liked. That was
Oh
pretty.
yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
really pretty.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures. Yeah.
She probably had a hand in it. I think maybe not, but I think it's nice. But I would agree that it's not something I would particularly listen to. But if say she would do a solo concert, or performance, which she has done somewhere
Yeah.
in the past
I think
2
so. Yeah.
years,
Yeah, she did it a couple of times. Yeah.
sounds similar. Like she has done something like that recent. If she were to do this and I were to be watching it live, I'd watch it. To see how she would do it live with a band. She tends to have like good people there on the stage. So yeah, I liked it, but didn't love it. Derek, what do you think?
Okay, so first of all, before I even get started, how many of you here know the group Bish? When I say Bish, are you familiar with Bish?
I
You know
know
Bish.
From
You know
you.
Bish.
a bit, but not that much.
A bit.
Steve has introduced me to Bish and other whack groups, so I am familiar with
Ah.
them.
Okay, so I'll get back to that. So here's the thing. So when I first got into AKB or whatever, Yukirin was the one that kind of caught my eye first. She has always been sort of the Kamiyoshi for me, sort of like the one for me for many reasons. Mostly because she's super funny. She's very kind of like, I don't know. There's so many different sides to her. Remember she was called Black Hearted, I think, for a while
yeah.
too
Yeah.
before Tomiyama kind of took that title.
Mhm.
She's got a whole other side to her. For me, I've always liked her because I like her gravure side a lot. I think she's been very blessed with probably one of the best bodies out of any idol I've ever seen, period, in the Chica world as well as the major. And she knows it and she flaunts it very well, but she does it in a way that I never feel she's being pompous about it because she's got this like natural humility to her. So I think when you add with a beauty like that and like the washboard stomach she's got, it's like you can't help but be perfect. And as far as the idol veneer goes, that being said, she plays it down a lot, and that's why I like her. But even in this video, you saw the little pictures, and you saw the one right on full display, her in the bikini, and it's like, oh, there's that slender body we've all come to know about Yukirin. So I like that she's still proud of that. I like that she's still showing that off because that is something an idol that does get honored sometimes in more ways than one. And she has nothing to be ashamed of about that. And if anything, I think it's good she puts that on display. And that's also one of the reasons I liked her because visually she's very awesome. Then, of course, when I fell in love with Tani, that okays, and I was like, oh wow, you're just the greatest human being on earth. But anyways, so that being said, I haven't heard anything from her in a long time, like you guys. Like I'm like, well, okay, she hasn't done anything. All of her singles, I've never really been a fan of. I mean, I like her singing. I think she's a great singer. I watched like a mini documentary on her solo stuff, and the time and effort she puts into it, like it's amazing how much this girl works. Like she's a grinder. I mean, she pounds it all the time, and I'm so proud of her for that because that is not easy to do. So the fact that it took her this long to come out with something, it makes me thinking, oh, she's already thinking now about post AKB. I mean, it's about time, girls approaching, she's got to be 30 something almost. Like,
Next year.
Yeah. Next
yeah,
year.
so like already thinking, okay, I'm gonna do the Cyane thing, and let me start doing the solo thing. So already, what do we get right away? A band. What do we know about Cyane? A band. You know, it's already she's got those gears rolling, I think, which is fine. At this point, unless she's gonna do the whole marriage and baby thing like a lot of her ex members have done,
Yeah.
I think that's her route, right? So that being said, I found it extremely interesting that she went the whack route. And what I mean is, if you listen to that chorus in this song, and if you know anything about Bish, you know anything about Aina, you know, who is the leader of Bish, that is straight out of the Bish playbook. In fact, it has almost the same exact chordal structure. I cannot think of the song right away because I am not a whack fan, like whatsoever. I don't really care for whack. I did like Gang Parade a lot. I used to go see Gang Parade quite a bit back in the day before they got too big to play venues that I live in now because they're just too big. They couldn't play them. But Aina has a specific sound that she hits with a lot of her vocal reaches. Yukirin literally imitated that to a T. And I wish I could think of the exact song. And it's again, because I'm not a biggest whack fan, but of course, if you are in the Chica world, you've listened to Bish, you know who Bish is, you've probably heard a million Bish songs. I mean, you can't get away from it here in Tokyo. Aina's on every freaking corner right now because she just released her solo album, and so it's literally every station, everywhere you look, this girl's everywhere. That being said, Aina's a whole other creature, whole other story because her solo stuff's completely different than a lot of what Bish is, and I really love Aina for doing something that's truly her own thing, but that's a whole other story for a whole other time. The thing that's interesting is that Yukirin went from the pop bubblegum AKB thing to Bish Chica Idol sound. Chica Idol sounds very rock. And it's very, and yes, to some degree, it's very bland. That's the starting point. But you can get more extreme. Like the world I live in is very extreme. But it, like, Bish started out like kind of almost extreme through Biss, which with Bish was like the answer to Biss, and then like now they're now like the major idol of the Chica idol world. I don't even know if you can call them Chica anymore because I don't think they've played a basement venue in years. So it's like, you know, they play stadiums now. So the thing is that sound is very interesting to see her go to that because if that's the route she goes, welcome, please.
Wow.
I mean, the MV is generic is all heck. I mean, I didn't even care about the MV. I mean, it was nice to see Yukirin, but she's gorgeous. Like, you could put her in a wind tunnel and throw newspaper at her face, and she's still going to be the most attractive, most interesting thing in there, more than like a newspaper hitting her. You're going to think, wow, that girl's really pretty. Can you please move out of the way, newspaper? Because, like, whereas, like, for example, in the wind tunnel, you just laugh because it's like Bowler over to be funny. You don't care about Takamina's looks. You care about what's going on, if that makes sense. So that being said, if Yukirin joins the dark side and she starts doing more like the Chica stuff and her sound and style, I am all for it. I gotta say, I really love the song because not because it was catchy or anything. It's because it was more of the world that I live in. And I love that my Kamiyoshi is decided, hey, I'm gonna hire the guys who wrote all Bish's songs and I'm gonna make them write my song. Because I guarantee that's exactly what happened. If I looked and saw who wrote, I guarantee somebody there either was part of Bish's camp, is in Bish's camp, or is heavily influenced by Bish's camp. Because that chorus is straight out of the Aina playbook. And so that being said, I'm all for it. I'm cool with that. Anytime I can hear the Chica world come up to the major world, all for it.
So basically, Yoroshi is coming to you instead of you having to go to her. Go for it.
Very well played. Very well played.
Join the dark side.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
I believe that the person who worked on the song was Watanabe Junnosuke, who's like the producer for Whack.
Oh well, geez. I mean, if it's the Godfather himself, then of course. Okay, in the Chica world, there are two fathers. There is Watanabe, and then there is Tanaka-san. So Tanaka-san made Akbi, which was responsible for Bell Ring Shoujo Girl's Heart, There's No Cly Migma Shelter, everything that's cool and awesome in Chica world. And then there's Watanabe, who did Bish, Gang Parade, Empire, like all these wonderful groups that I don't like really at all. But They're great. They're great. I have all respect and love for them in the world. Biss. Yeah. Biss came out with Nerve. Nerve is probably it's considered to be the greatest idol song ever written by anybody, major or minor. And so, Watanabe, when he hooked up with Poor Louis, who is responsible for Biss, and who went on later to be in Billy Idol, and who's now, I don't even know what she's doing. I think she's doing her own thing. I don't even know. That's a really rich history of Idol that's been going on since like 2012, 2013 up till now. And the penultimate title apex was given to Bish, because when they found Aina, it was like game over. It's like you have a talent that is that great, that perfect, that beautiful, that just ridiculously good, that shouldn't even be in our world. She's that good. Although I wouldn't say that necessarily, because I work with a tremendously gifted group of girls in a lot of the groups I work with that are just way above leagues of Chica idols. But you take somebody like Aina, and you're going to have the blueprint for what every idol would probably aspire to if they have even a shred of dignity in what they're singing and trying to sing like. It's kind of like, how K-pop singers are so darn perfect with their singing. Like Aina could probably stand next to some of them. I don't know, because again, K-pop singers are just, you can't touch them. But like Aina could jump and probably hold her own. And I think the K-pop girls would be like, yeah, you go, girl. But we all know, K-pop girls rule the world when it comes to singing. But it's like, you take this girl Aina, who was homeless and living in, on the streets at one point, and now she is the queen of the universe here in Tokyo. And then you have Yukirin imitate that. Yes, please keep doing it, because Yukirin's got a voice. She's not a crappy singer. So for her to do this, it's like, okay, I see where you're going with this. And if you're saying that Wax, like Godfather, basically did this song, well, duh, no wonder I'm thinking that. He has this signature melody and chorus he always sticks in that he's never got out of in all of his projects. And that was classic, like Bish, like 101. So good job for her. She's gonna make a lot of new fans if Chica World gets a hold of that. So
let's stay hoping.
Awesome to hear. Seems your intuition was right on that. With the influences there with the MV. Next topic, maybe something brief. I don't know. I think Marley maybe has some things to say about Jurina's graduation song. If I'm correct, if I'm wrong, please correct me. Jurina was your Oshi, or is your Oshi now, I think? Am I right?
Yeah, my current Oshiman, yes.
Nice. Okay.
Look, do you have any opinion about her graduation song?
So yeah, I do really like this, again, kind of simple graduation song. It is really nice knowing that she actually wrote the lyrics to the song, so it's like her putting her own sentiment into it, so you really feel that. It's really sweet. And yeah, the music video, again, really cute idea, just having like these little clips of, again, her past career just all around her, even on her dress that she was wearing. It was like on the skirt
that was awesome.
of her dress.
Yeah.
That was a really cute idea. I like it.
That's the same thing. I don't think that with the song, for me, I would listen to over and over again. But that dress, the dress itself, I really liked. But like having, I don't think it was all MVs, but like past pictures, videos of her on that dress, really nice touch. They could have like screened it behind her, then have her in front of that. But with that pretty large dress, I would say, it was a really nice touch. It's a really short MV, but from that dress alone, I'm like, visually, yeah, I kind of like it. Though they did have in the beginning like parts of the MV of MVs in the past or things in places, though not everywhere. I think there were places. I can't remember that exactly.
Right, like on the walls.
Nice. Yeah, on the walls, basically. Yeah.
Really nice. It was nice. It was nice. Anyone else have something to say about Jurina's graduation song?
Go for it.
Maria?
For me, it is like, it's a really normal graduation song. Like, if you had to say like, what is a graduation song, you show them Jurina's, and they get like, oh, this is a graduation song. And like, but I also wanted to say like about her writing the lyrics and all. That's like the oldest trick in the book to make a song feel more meaningful to the fans. Like they do it all the time in K-pop. It's like, oh, this song is for the fans, and the members wrote the lyrics themselves. And like with that, it doesn't even really matter what the lyrics are. It doesn't really matter, what kind of lyrics they are. Just because they are written by her herself, it makes it more meaningful. And like, yeah, it's a graduation song. That's all.
Come again, you're muted, Colin. I think I couldn't hear you, so.
No,
How
you're
many
muted.
thoughts,
Still can't hear you.
for Jurina?
Oh, wait, you're back.
There.
You're back.
I was perfect on my end. I don't, things happening. The X. Have you anything to say?
Yeah, I had this when I first watched the teaser of the graduation song. I was like, this feels oddly familiar with the whole scenes, even though it's been done in the past. But one video came particularly into mind, and that was Shinoda Mariko's old graduation video, or MV basically, with the whole
Yeah.
clips, and the dress is similar as well. And given the fact that with Shinoda Mariko it was like a film reel with different clips from different years throughout her career, in the case of Jurina, it was like projected all over the place with the timeline literally on the ground where she was walking on. And since Shinoda Mariko was basically Jurina's Oshi when she got into the 48 group, so it makes sense for her graduation MV to be quite similar like Shinoda Mariko's as well. So I really like that touch, and I'm really curious about how this one is going to end, because in Shinoda Mariko's graduation MV, she basically walked into the movie itself, and the film will ended in the filming machine. So I'm really curious how they're going to end this MV. So really looking forward to this MV, even though I'm probably going to cry a bit as well, because even though she's not my Oshi, I really like Jurina as well. So yeah.
That's awesome to hear. Thank you for pointing that out. That was really cool. Derek, Meta, do you have any thoughts about this?
I do. Medtech, you can go first.
Well, kind of like everyone said, it's a graduation song, and those are always impactful, especially when you know someone as well as we do with Jurina. And I also, this is kind of fun, but I don't know if people notice it, but when DX mentioned Mariko's graduation MV, you just saw Colin, Derek, and Marley and me just sitting there nodding. Yes, we remember this pain.
All at the exact same point. We instantly knew, yes, that's the one. Yes, yeah, totally right.
Yep.
I remember crying watching that MV.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
makes
same
sense.
here. Oh my god.
Graduation MVs are always tough, especially when you love that idol. Even if you didn't
yeah.
have them as an Oshiman, it's just gets to you. And I don't think this is gonna be my favorite graduation song or favorite graduation MV, but it still gets to that point where I feel like I'm gonna cry as well, because I remember seeing her as that little kid that you saw popping up on the screen on the
Yep.
dress, beating out everyone in AKB and AKBingo, being that
Yes.
super whiz kid. And I'm gonna miss her, even though I've never been her biggest fan. And it was a nice goodbye, but I want to see that song done on a stage with members around, and then maybe a light show in the background. That's gonna make me cry.
I get that, yeah. Good thoughts. Good thoughts. Derek.
Yeah, DX, I thought it was interesting because I know your connection to SK in particular when you went and saw for, your other Oshi Rina.
Yeah.
You can't talk about Rina without talking about Jurina. And so
Exactly.
I know no matter what, you're going to have that connection. And being that Tani's in SKE, of course, I also feel a bit more connected to SKE than anything else. But that being said, I mean, okay, from a production standpoint, to be truthfully critical, again, it's like there's no one really imaginative that was working on this that could have maybe presented this in a different, more creative fashion. I think though there is something to be said though about the lyrics, like you said, like it doesn't even matter. Like if it's written by them, of course we're gonna like it. Also, it's a graduation MV, so it's like okay, we kind of sort of pull back the reins on like being so overly like expecting of what's gonna be done. It was nice. It was nice to see. I like right at the beginning when we're seeing Jurina, and the Ogoe, was it Ogoe Diamond? Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say yeah.
Yeah, and
Yep.
you know, we all know from the documentary of AKB when we were watching them filming that, how much fun they had doing that, and also how crazy and weird of a time it was for Jurina, you know, to be put in the center of this crazy group over Maeda and Mariko and
Yeah.
Yuko, and they're like, what is this girl? Who's this kid? And yet she held her own, and then she finally became the queen, and the last queen we've had ever.
Yeah.
So, it's at this point, it's like, okay, I mean, whatever you want to do, Jurina, it's cool. Like, I'm just like, you do what you want. I personally, if I were her, I would have been like, we're going out in a much bigger way, but
Yeah.
it meant something. So I think at the end of the day, if it meant something to her, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's fair.
Makes sense. Totally, absolutely. Well, Jurina is maybe a good segue into a group that she almost got into. IZone. What's the song called? The dance?
Got the dance.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I like to go first. I have positive things to say. Visually, I was digging it. I was like, yeah, I like the visuals so far. Those blue costumes at the end, double thumbs up. Love them. Again, I said earlier, blue. You know, you win me over instantly. Yeah.
There you go.
See, presentation-wise, I liked having seen it, but more or less similar to the song. Didn't do it for me, in the sense that I would, listen to it another time. But hey, thumbs up. That's good. That's awesome. Maria, you'll probably have a lot to say.
Oh, I definitely. First off, the biggest complaint. Derek, you probably didn't notice this, but the link we posted in the chat, it isn't to the official
Yep, that's
official
true.
channel.
Yep.
That is because on the official channel, you only have a preview of the music video. Because the Dance is a collab with the app Universe. And like you can watch the whole music video on that universe. But the problem is, you can't download Universe app everywhere, and not all phones can download it. And I am one of those sad people whose phone simply isn't able to download the app. So, I have to rely on the re-uploaded versions. Yeah, which is. But overall, I like the song. It's not my favorite from them, but it also is far from my least favorite. I like it, and the music video is really fun. It has this retro vibe to it, and the most amazing thing is my favorite line of the song belongs to goddamn Hyewon. I would never have believed it that they would give Hyewon such a goddamn good line. Like,
what was it?
What was it?
It's like in the bridge. I'm not even going to attempt to re-sing it, but
Don't.
yeah. It's in the bridge, and it's like, yeah, it's really pretty. It's in the bridge, and I love it. And now I've lost my train of thought. Oh, but I'm kind of sad because once again, it's a song called Da Da Dance, and Cheon barely has sense of time in the choreography. She has lines, but she has barely sense of time in the choreography. She's on the sidelines in the choreo so much, and it's just sad that they're doing that to her in a song called Da Da Dance. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, very weird. To go back to it a little bit, very weird that they decided to team up with that app and then not really have like a good app that everyone can access. It's really weird. I can understand a collab, if you can call it a collab in a sense. That's weird. It's weird.
God damn it!
Because it's not so readily available, and you must depend on being lucky. In that sense, as you said, from not being able to download it. Is it because you must be in Korea or something?
No, because I have it.
I think places outside Korea can get it too. But I think maybe my phone is like a too old of a version because it said my phone is not compatible with it, which was like, what?
Oh, weird.
So,
okay.
Weird.
Yes, that was really weird. And I've heard that others have location problems, so
Okay.
Weird.
I like the song,
Okay,
I like the
weird.
music video, and fuck Universe, I guess. Sorry.
Easy there.
40 minutes in, don't think that anyone from YouTube will be watching it for so long.
Yeah, maybe.
Fair use. It's fair use. Fair use. DX, do you have anything to say about Ice
MV wise, I really like the aesthetic of it. I know what they were going for, but the song, it was there, but it was neither good nor bad. It was there for me, It's more like it's a passable song, but it's not something that I'm going to be repeating or something like that. If I were going to listen to the songs purely for the MV, but not for the song for me personally. So that's my take on it.
Fair enough. Mette.
I feel like I'm being really bad today, just going, I was okay, yeah, it wasn't quite for me, but I'm more in lines with you, Colin, that I really love the blue costumes, because those were really pretty, and they were Maria kept sending me the promo pictures for...
Of course.
and they're wearing those costumes in the promo pictures, and I'm just like, oh, it's so pretty, it looks like they're gonna do some kind of magical thing, and I may have built it up to something that it wasn't never gonna be. Well, I still think it was fine, I can see myself maybe remembering this chorus part, the first section of it, but yeah, I think it's gonna go into the ones. Ice one's nice. It exists, but it's not quite my cup of tea. Except those outfits, because those were so cute.
Yep, I agree 100%. Best outfits so far that I've seen for this year, but it's a long year. We have a long ways to go. Marley, do you have any thoughts about Ice One?
Yeah. So first off, I felt that when you said they didn't give Cheon enough solo shots, because outside of the J line, Cheon is my bias in Ice One. So and yeah, I totally agree with the whole like debacle of why didn't they put the full version of the music video up on YouTube? Like, it could be something as simple as that they just make an official YouTube channel for the app as a whole. That way they can also release like the other extra contents that was on there, because like there's like behind the scenes contents as well for like them making the music video or recording the song. So like you could do that.
Yeah, good idea.
And that's one of the things I was worried about too when I recorded, because I did a reaction initially to the preview version, because I was worried if I like did like a repost on YouTube of the full version, am I gonna get in trouble?
Yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense.
But yeah, like same as what you all said, like really catchy beat, the whole retro vibe of it, which really has been trending in K-pop. A lot of groups have been doing like sort of retro style concepts. And yeah, the blue outfits that look like they are students at a magic school, I am in love with that concept. So
Like,
yeah, all in all,
I was straight up expecting it to be something like the Cosmic Girl Save Me, Save You, but it was like it ended up being totally different, which is just, why? We could have had it all.
Yeah, that's true. You lose some, you win some, or you win some, you lose some. One way or the other.
Yeah.
Derek, you seen it? You have thoughts?
Yes.
Maybe?
Yeah. Well, yeah, so I watched it. Well, okay, for me, visually, of course, I mean, you can't ever go wrong with Eyes One. Sakura-tan I thought looked really lovely. But when doesn't she? I don't know. They're all very adorable to me. The song really gave me a very unique impression of something. I don't know if this will make sense to any of you. I'm not saying because you guys maybe those of you who have been to Japan can attest to this. But I felt like I was in Shibuya, like Ichimaru-Q. Like I just felt like I was in like the fashion store.
Yeah. I got that. Yeah.
Like
Confirmed.
it'd be the music that would be playing in
Yep,
there.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I felt chic. I felt like, like I'm fashionable. I'm not, clearly, but I'm just saying, like I felt like this song really fits that culture. That like
definitely.
girl, that like very like I it's hard to put into words. It's youth. It's very youthful. And it felt good. It didn't feel bad. I really felt like I was instantly transported to Shibuya, which is only 2 stations away from where I live. And it's just very cool that like I mean I could go there in 20 minutes and be like right there where this song I felt could live forever in elevators and department stores. No, I mean that as a compliment. I mean that truly as a
Yeah,
compliment.
I get it.
Because in Tokyo things change rapidly, but this song could definitely have a home there because it just felt very fashionable. Like if I was watching a movie that was set in 2021 in Shibuya and dealing with like the youth and teenage culture or something, they would have this song on that soundtrack, like guaranteed. Because it just has that good vibe to it. As far as it being a hooky song or something that's like musically interesting to me, it's IZone. So I've never been a fan of IZone's music either. I like the girls. I like them as particularly. We all watched them become IZone, so I feel very attached to them. Cheon is a goddess, you know.
Yep.
So
That's a
we
given.
all love her. I could watch that girl dance for hours and never get bored. So I mean, she's a goddess. I'm just gonna shut up.
Great praise.
Cheon,
Yeah. Go ahead.
talking about Cheon dancing, she just recently did a dancing live again, and I still haven't had time to watch the full thing, but I need to do it.
I've
Send me
seen
the link,
clips of
please.
that.
I've seen clips, but I need to watch the whole thing.
I'm too into her. Anytime you send me a link, like legit, not even lying or anything, like I'll sit and I'll actually watch it. I don't care how busy I am. I must look so weird on the train sometimes if I'm watching like Cheon dance and I'm on the Tokyo train. I'm staring at this girl like busting a move, and I look over and there's like, oh, teenage Japanese girl looking at me like, ew, you're weird. But it's whatever. I don't care. It's just. This is a good song. It's not a bad song. It's definitely one of my more favorite songs by IZone. But even saying that, it's still like my interest in IZone's never been high. But I can get into this. I can enjoy it because it feels very much like here for me and what I experience. So I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Next topic. We had Aespa on. Is someone wants to talk about that for a moment?
I wonder who it could be.
I'm sorry that I included this. I thought it was
What?
something interesting to talk about. If not, just to let Maria talk for a moment. I know.
Take it away.
I saw it. The only
Thank-
thing I can say visually, I liked it, and other than that, nah. So once again, visuals. Today is the visual episode. It's
Yeah.
all
Seems like
thumbs
it,
up.
yeah.
But if anyone has something to say about this, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just say it. I'm head over heels in love. It's 4 main vocals in one group. Every
You
one
have
of them
so
can
many
sing.
loves.
Any one of them could be a main vocal in basically any other group, including Giselle, who is technically a rapper and not even a vocalist at all, and she can sing like a main vocal. What is this group? This shouldn't be allowed. Who allowed this to happen? It's too good. And the song itself is a remake of an old song called Forever, which is a tradition among SM girl groups that their second, release a single will be a remake of an older song.
Okay.
And just it has this whole vibe. It's this, wintry of a song, and it's really nice. And it's a ballad with a choreography, and I'm always a sucker for that. If you have a ballad with a choreography, I will like that. No matter the song, no matter the choreography, they give
course,
ballads to little choreographers. They mostly just have people sit around them, and I'm just like, move around a little. Like, why not? And I love that Aespa did that. And they are also beautiful, and they also all sing so well, and I'm in love with every single one of them, especially Giselle. And oh God, how do I get myself out of this hole?
So many loves. I can't keep track of it anymore. That's good. Why? Well, I can see some people being like, "Yeah, you should keep your heart to one person in that sense." But I think it's good to have like so many loves as you do, because you love it. Someone else, has anyone seen it and has like, I have something to say.
I've seen it once, but it's more like it's a ballad indeed, but I really like the MV as well. It's more like this winter-esque sphere that the MV oozes out, and I think it works. I was on the fence if it was going to turn into a Christmas song or not, but fortunately it didn't. But I really like the MV, but the song, I've only listened to it once, so I can't really comment on that yet. So.
Okay, fair enough. What is Odd Eye? I have no idea.
I have no clue.
I'll talk about this. So, because I'm not familiar with Aespa, but I'll go ahead and mention this. So, Dreamcatcher, one of my top 2 favorite K-pop girl groups, they recently had a comeback with their 6th mini album, Dystopia Road to Utopia, and there was the title track, Odd Eye. So this song is actually the 3rd and final of a trilogy that they did with their last 3 albums. So it was The Tree of Language, and then Lose Myself, and then this one, which is Road to Utopia, kind of closing out the series. So visual-wise, this MV is so cool because they went with a cyberpunk concept. So, like, it was very much like cyberpunk kind of dystopia. The girls, because the name of the song is Odd Eye, they all have color contacts giving them odd eyes, like in the music video. And when they did stage performances, they did this. So it was like, it worked in the concept of the odd eyes so well with that. And the song itself is like, Dreamcatcher has this really amazing and unique style of music that you don't hear a lot of K-pop, because like basically when they debuted, they went with a rock concept, so there was like a lot of rock and metal inspired sound in a lot of their music. Right. Their first concept was horror with like the Nightmare series, and then they've been experimenting with other stuff as well, mixing in more electronic EDM kind of sounds with their music as well, basically just making a whole style of their own. Basically, it's their own genre at this point. And the lyrics of it too are super meaningful, because the whole Dystopia series is talking about like the toxic side of social media. Like they talked about cyberbullying in songs like Scream and Boca, and where here in Odd Eye it's talking about basically comparing like the internet and social media as to like this place that seems like it was a utopia, this perfect place where they could be safe from like, there wouldn't be any pain or any harmful words coming at them, but they start to see and realize that, oh, utopia doesn't exist. Like there will always be all of these harsh reality, all this despair going on in the world. So they realize that through this song. It even ends the music video saying that the Dreamcatchers couldn't find the utopia that they were looking for because it doesn't exist. So yeah, in that sense, it is a really meaningful song. And again, just doing it in that style that Dreamcatcher are known for, it is absolutely amazing.
And if I can add, the styling was absolutely impeccable. Like through the last, like this trilogy, I would say with each song, the styling got more extreme, I would say. It's like with each one, they went further out. Like I think Shihyun had like this blonde hair, and like she looked absolutely amazing with it. And it like overall the styling and concept was really amazing. So like seriously, if you guys should check it out.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
So yeah, highly recommend Dreamcatcher to you guys. I think you would really like it.
Yeah.
Well, then it's something that we can add later for the recommendations for sure.
Yeah.
Anyone else have something going on before we go to the next topic? No? Okay. Well, the next topic, this is an interesting one. We'll talk about AKBingo Neo, because a while ago, a week, 2-3 weeks ago,
something like that.
The lineup, top 10 was it, has been revealed. I don't have that top 10 in front of me. If whoever has, name the top 10. Hey, well, Maria, since you have it, apparently. I already see a great name somewhere there. But who wants to reveal the names?
I can read them out then, I guess. At first, let's go from first place or 10th place. Which should I start with?
Let's go.
Whatever you like.
Yeah.
Okay. The first is Murayama Yuri. Second, Okada Nana.
Of course.
Third, Hashimoto Haruna. Fourth, Oguri Yui. Fifth, Shitao Miyu. Sixth, Yokoyama Yui. Seventh, Okabe Rin. Eighth, Yamauchi Mizuki. And ninth, Sasaki Yukari. And 10th, Kurano Narumi.
Nice.
This is an interesting list. If you had asked me beforehand, name 10 girls you think you would be in it, I would name 3. I would have probably at least 3 guesses right. It's an interesting. Anyone have thoughts about this particular top 10?
Well, to be quite honest, I thought Mion would make that list as she is one of the more prominent girls, but
Yeah.
apparently she fell to 11.
Right.
So
yeah, I think
that's
she was like 3 in the preliminaries.
preliminary, yeah?
I think, and then she dropped just out of the top 10.
Yeah, she
I
got
wanna say
11.
I read
Yeah,
something.
she got 11th, I think.
Ah,
yeah.
you know, just that's unfortunate.
Oh, that
but
was really close then.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
I think the
what's...
scores were roughly similar in that sense. You know, 8 and 9 were similar, 6, 7 were similar, but 10 and 1 were way off. I forgot, was it like 1 million or points or so? It was tight. It was
It
tight.
was really
But
tight.
continue.
Let's just say the placings from number 4 till like number 11 were really extremely tight. They were extremely close to each other. It could have been a toss-up and someone else would have made it. But
Oh, yeah.
on the lineup in general, I think it's quite interesting because besides the top 2, or in your case top 3, top 2 Yokoyama Yui, and in your case Sasaki Yukari as well,
Yeah.
most of them are relatively unknown. So I'm really curious what they're going to build with this lineup, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And
I'm honestly surprised with number 3, Hashimoto Haruna, because
Yeah.
like
yeah,
I straight up went like, who is she? And I looked her up on stage 48, and like it's been a while since then. But at the last Senbatsu election, she ranked 109th,
Mm.
yeah.
which like I don't want to say it. I hope it's just that she has somehow found herself a really good set of fans who are really dedicated.
Oh, yeah.
But that looks like botching to me, honestly. Like
maybe one of those, cult
Fans.
followers in
Yeah.
that sense, where it's just
maybe she
people
has
who are like,
somehow developed one somewhere. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
How did these girls they all got voted in?
Yeah, from
Yeah.
Gobon, the
Japan?
app.
Okay, so I think we've seen that throughout the years. The AKB, you'll get some random like no name
Yeah.
girl, and I mean that no disrespect to Haruna-san. I'm just saying like we've never heard of her on a public level quite at this point. But the fans, like I saw that a lot when I would go to the AKB handshakes at Makahari Messe, and you know of course you got a lot of the bigger girls there, super popular, whatever. They have long lines, but then you'll look over and there'll be some girl you've never heard of, and she'll have a line that rivals like Sashi's line. You're like, wait, what? And it like the Japanese fans tend to get in early on some of these girls, and of course we know why, because they can go watch these girls at the theater when we can't, and so they can see these girls on a regular basis, and they're more in touch with maybe who's more prevalent in the minds of the fans. So I think that might be the case here, that her fans probably did some crazy gang up of voting. And the
Crazy
Japanese fans
push.
will do that. They'll do that.
Yeah.
They'll get together
Crazy
and they'll be like,
organized like K-pop. K-pop
Yeah.
K-pop level organization. Yeah, military style.
they'll
It
get
could
real
also
hierarchical
be-
about it. Yeah. Go
It
ahead.
could also be like she's one of those members that's really popular on stuff like Showroom, where they're like just like live streaming at their
Oh, yeah,
homes
yeah.
and
Oh
stuff,
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Fair point.
Could
and
be.
talking to their fans.
I mean,
But-
with the social media world being what it is today, a lot of these idols
Mhm.
now have different ways to be popular.
yeah.
And so, like what you just said with Showroom, that makes a lot of sense. Like, what was the AKB girl who like streamed herself waking up every morning?
Chiba-eri.
Was it
Was it?
Chiba?
Chiba-eri,
And she
yeah.
streamed herself every morning. She like streamed herself. Even sometimes like when she would sleep in, she would apologize to the fans. She's like, "I'm so sorry I slept in." They would like tell her like, "Look, it's totally cool. Like you work so hard." But that made her. I think she's the most
Thinking
famous.
Onishi Momoka. Isn't
Well,
that?
she's the most famous showroom idol like ever because of that. Because she did it every single day. She never missed. And that's you. Okay, you're in this big gigantic idol group. How do you stand out? That's smart thinking. I'll go do my own thing and just get fans to love me for who I am. So maybe maybe Haruna is going to be the one we're all going to end up really loving out of this. But that's cool. I mean, all props to the AKB staff for getting it right in that sense and allowing somebody we've never heard to be voted in like that. It kind of reminds me of like the very first Junkin when a no name basically won the Junkin.
Oh yeah,
and people were like,
Ichidama
oh,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I remember that.
know?
The rock
Very cool.
girl. Yeah, rock girl, literally
You
rock.
You are.
But honestly, this whole lineup just has made, like me and Meta were talking like we tend to do. I say this a lot, it happens, is that like number 1 and number 2, Yuri and Nana. Like this should be a no-brainer for AKB to give those two double center single.
Yeah.
It just that it's like
Can't see
giving
it happening.
Nakomiko a HKT single. It's like it's literally like that. It just should happen by this point. Like
Right.
what's
Maybe in the
they're
next
both
time.
popular. They are popular together. Why not give them a double center? And then have like somebody like Chibaeri like be the front line there, you know. Maybe center like some coupling song,
B-side,
set her up as the next days, you know. Start building something.
Maybe for the next single. Who knows?
Hopefully.
Whenever that one
Whenever
comes
that might
out.
happen,
If they
yeah.
continue doing that. I
Knock
think they
on
will,
wood.
but you never know.
Watch it be Isaka 2.0. We wait a year and a half for a single, and then they tell us, never mind, we're gonna rebrand.
Yeah, watch.
We're done.
Watch.
We're done.
Right.
Goodbye.
Yeah, wow.
So it's a decent lineup. Some interesting names. It really depends how AKBingo Neo will be like. We've kind of talked about that. You know what the format will be, the style and such. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's like a lineup that I'm interested in. 10 is good to start. Maybe there'll be more. Who knows?
Yoroshi got into it, so you know.
Of course.
Yeah, exactly.
That's also one of those things. I'm not surprised that you would get a high rank. On the other hand, I'm like, okay, she's in those leagues. Okay. I mean, it's a game, right? The game is free to play, right?
Yeah, free to play.
Fairly
It
easily.
is free to play.
That tends to make things easier for a lot of people and for the members, it seems. Any more thoughts about AKBingo Neo?
Just looking forward to the episodes, I would say. So yeah.
Yeah.
Very
March, right?
Yeah, March, I
March.
think. Yeah.
So far, I haven't really heard anything else, but I don't know. Maybe it will be tomorrow because of
What
course.
do you guys see anybody in this lineup though, at least in the top 10, that could be like the funny bone of the show? Because I'm not sure I'm seeing it. Do you guys have any
Not
thoughts?
really, actually.
No, we don't have anyone
No.
strong. Maybe Oguru Yui. That would be something.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Guru maybe, but
Maybe. Yeah.
That could be funny. Maybe she has developed more. I do recall later on in AKBingo towards the end, she started to come into herself a bit more, be a bit more funnier. And I've seen things, Team 8's No Kanto something show, that maybe there is something there, because Team 8 is the only one who still has like a show going on, and she is in there because Tokyo Kanto, you know. So maybe she can finally display her comedic talents a bit more. Who knows? I'm curious. I agree that on first glance there isn't really a strong funny member in that sense, but someone may come out of this and blow us all away with her.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
yeah,
Who
exactly.
knows? So we've hit the hour mark. We did it.
Yeah, think
Yes.
so.
Well,
Is there a particular topic that someone wants to talk about, like Derek or Marley? Do you guys have anything, or anyone else for that matter, something briefly, to talk about?
I do, but Marley, please go first since you're our guest.
どうしよう I'm trying to think because like we've talked a lot about a bunch of different topics, so like I don't know what would be something you would want to ask me about.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Sorry, putting us on the spot.
Yeah.
I don't know.
that's revenge right there.
Yeah.
If I watched you guys' Year of the End special, I forgot the name. I apologize. But I know that you've been leaning more towards K-pop. What is your opinion, on what AKB can do forward, in the sense that you maybe have lost a little interest in them? What would you say they need to do for you to really get back into them?
Okay. Well, I know that we have discussed in the past, like, me and Steve have talked about our own ideas of what AKB could do, especially in, like, the current environment now, what they could do.
Do anything, I'd say.
I don't know. Maybe it's harder for me to answer because, like, I have leaned so heavily more into K-pop, I'm not really keeping up with the girls anymore.
Fair enough.
Like obviously they're still doing stuff like showroom, so like doing that stuff to where they are interacting with their fans. And like we were talking about AKBingo just now, but like just thinking about it, like, you know, you think about AKBingo and you think about what else do they currently have? Nemosu?
Nemosu, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, Nemosu is the one thing that is still relatively consistent. Other than
Mhm.
that, no. Other than the online talk
Yeah, the YouTube stuff.
event instead of YouTube as well. There are some members who have their YouTube thing. Yuihan, Mirun.
Katamina just
Katamina.
opened. Yeah, Katamina
Yuna,
just opened.
Moki-on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, the most famous. So some members have been doing YouTube here and there. Would you say that maybe AKB needs to do more on YouTube or another platform?
Well, I mean, maybe just because having that content and having the girls like actually doing something. Because maybe it's just from me where I've been out of the loop. It feels like most of the girls aren't really doing anything.
They really aren't.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, giving them something to do, having them something that like, you know, fans can, you know, see, and it could get more people interested in the group, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough question.
Honestly,
True,
as somebody
it's
who's also like really into K-pop, like I've said, like AKB needs to get with the times. Like there is basically no need to even have shows that are like aired on TV anymore for idols.
Yeah.
I would say
We've talked
They-
about that. Yeah.
they get that gives no advantage. They should just move all that they would be doing otherwise on TV to YouTube. Simple as that. Do what they would have been doing
Mhm.
just on YouTube. It would be cheaper and it would reach a wider audience and it would just be better.
Great.
Like
someone
I
else?
literally remember you, Maru, talking about how one of the groups, NCT, they can literally make content from like, you know, if it's just one of the members spending time with their dog.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can literally find something where you can like make all this content and like release it online for everyone to
Yeah.
see.
Like NCT just recently they did a thing called Mark Awards where they had a member Mark just give every member of the group, all 23 members of the group, an award, which was like, you know, oh, they did this well this year, so I give him, like, I don't know, the perfect attendance award. He was everywhere
Okay.
this year, you know. And it simply wasn't, and it wasn't even that planned. He tried calling like some of them like during the video, and some of them didn't pick up. So you know, it wasn't as if it was horribly planned or something expensive. No, they put him in front of a green screen and told him to give everybody some awards, and it was content. Just it's not hard to make content. Make something, AKB. You have so many members.
Said it a few times on
Uh-huh.
the past episodes, but it's true. It's something that
Yeah.
we pretty much all agree on that they should do.
Yeah. Besides, can I interject? Besides just
Sure.
making content, I would say also subtitle it in English or something like that to make
Oh,
it
yeah.
even more
Yeah.
accessible. Because sometimes I
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
Japanese streams and I'm fortunate enough to able to understand Japanese, but I'm along with Meta and Derek and I'm in a big minority on that case. So I would say make content and have some of the fan subgroups translate it for you. I mean, they probably want to do it for free or something like that in return for name recognition or something like that. So I would say make something like that happen besides making the content, because the more you make it accessible for fans, the more fans you might get actually. So
Agreed. Really
Mhm.
quick before we go on, remember that Maria sent us the MV, that one animated thing, and we were all like watching it, and suddenly Rohandi was like, "This has Dutch subs," and Matt was like, "This has Norwegian subs." Or no,
Yeah.
wait,
Yeah.
no, or
No,
you
it
have
has
something
to.
else.
It had everything except Norwegian. It had Danish and
Yeah.
Swedish and
Exactly.
Norwegian.
So
Discrimination.
I wouldn't say random video, but it was surprising to us. Oh yeah, they have like pretty much subs for pretty much every other country, unless the most important one in Matt's case. They have done so in the past. I mean, MV wise, I want to say that up until Labrador Retriever, they did sub their MV. Either that was the last one they didn't, or that was the first one where they stopped doing it. But they kind of have done that from time to time, done something like that. So why not? That's better. But will it happen? I don't think so. Not very likely. But who knows? So Derek, there was something that you wanted.
Yeah, so today actually kicks off the collaboration that Idol Underworld, my group, my company or whatever, is doing we're collaborating with this Indonesian idol group named Luska, and Luska's been around for a while, and they've been doing a really good job of keeping the integrity of Japanese idol culture intact when they try to sing the songs that they're creating, and they're not trying to interject too much of Indonesian culture into what they're doing, which still could be done, and I think done fairly well and fairly tastefully. I mean, we've seen B&K do it wonderfully, but I would say like they really know how to pay enough respect and do it in a correct way to Japanese idols that like they could practically be here in Tokyo and I wouldn't know the difference. They're that good. And I picked them because one of our longtime followers, somebody who's watched 48 Talk long time, Dava,
Dava.
he contacted me about this, and we've been talking because I want to take some groups over to Indonesia. I have a lot of groups that want to go to Indonesia that've expressed that interest in me, and Luska I think wants to come here and perform, and I thought, well, this is what I do, so like I decided to reach out. We came up with this idea, so as of tonight, I'm actually selling downloadable stuff right now. We're giving it a test run, so like they don't have to ship me stuff from Indonesia just for me to ship back out to the world. Right now, we're just seeing if there's any interest at all. So we're doing like 3 singles that they've put out. I'm selling as downloads, and about like 80 pictures that they actually just recently went and took, I think mostly for this purpose. The pictures are gorgeous. They came out wonderful. You can get either the singles, the photos, or you can get both in a deluxe set. And I think for fairly cheap considering what they're doing and who they are. And again, this isn't a smaller group by any means. I think Luska's really kind of held their own in Indonesia for a while now. And like I'm really proud of the girls. They're really good. They're really awesome. Everything I've know about them to this point, like I stand behind them. I hope everybody that's watching this, especially if we have Indonesian fans, and I know we do, I hope that they'll get behind this too, because if they make sales on Idol Underworld, that's incentive for me to do more with them, and also for Dava. We both said like if this goes well, we'll do a lot. We can. There's a lot we can do, and I think promoting Japanese culture outside of Japan is very important to spreading idol culture to the world, especially when it's done correctly. I feel, which I think Luska does more than correctly, and also I feel this is just good for countries to come together and be harmonious and peaceful in a way that respects each other's culture. And I'm all for it. So I hope everyone will be too. And I hope you guys will get behind it. And the name of the group is Luska, and that's Lusca. So please look them up. Please give them a shout out on Twitter. Please tell them that you're going to give them a look and do. They're worth your time. And so, yeah, I hope people get behind that.
Seems really interesting to be
Awesome.
honest.
Yeah.
Like a
Sorry.
cultural, like if this eventually goes on, it would be really interesting to see you all do like an exchange concert, have them come to Japan and do a concert, and then they take somebody back then to Indonesia and do a concert or something, a joint thing or something, which could be really interesting.
That's exactly what we're doing. In fact, like Indonesia does have big idol festivals. They put on themselves. Like Dava's like right at the center of that, and he works directly with Luska and their management. And so that's how the conversation kind of started off. Was like, yo, like we're gonna do this festival. Can you bring over some idols? I'm like, yeah, no, not just tell me when and where. But now with Corona being in full effect, obviously we don't know when that'll be and how. But in the meantime, it's good to start building these roots now. And I would happily set up a show for Luska. I could do that in 2 seconds here, not even a question. I mean, I'm in a position right now where I could actually do that myself. I don't even need to ask anybody. And so
Awesome.
it would be very cool to like, then they would bring over like Mary Baden or other groups that I work directly for, which Mary Baden really wants to go. Shihiro really wants to go to Indonesia. So yeah, I'm all for it. I think it'd be cool. It'd be cool to have them as like our sister group, and then they can come over all the time and vice versa. Like to me, that's what Idol is about. It's about sharing. It's about community. That's the one thing everybody misses, like from media and stuff. When they look into our world, they miss that completely. The community component of Idol. Anybody that's been to Japan and been to an Idol show, like Matt and DX can testify for sure.
Yeah.
The minute you step in the world, you're in that world.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
if they take a liking to you, you have a family. You know, you have a community of people that will wait for you and happy you're there and support you in your Oshiman search and follow, and it's very cool. So I hope we can do that with Blue Sky. I hope I can get them some people here in Japan. They're like, oh yeah, we dig this. This is cool, and vice versa. So, you know,
That
it's a
would
cool
be
thing.
really awesome.
Yeah.
Really well
Awesome.
put.
Mhm.
Recommendations. If no one else has something to talk about for this episode, I have not much to recommend. The only thing I would say, feel free to leave comments about, what you thought about the MVs and AKBingo Neo and such. That's the only thing. I don't have anything in particular. Someone else. Meta, you have a recommendation.
Yes, I do.
I already know which one.
Yeah.
Now I know.
So
Go.
tomorrow on the 9th, it might even be today, depending on when this goes up. It's the first debut anniversary for CGM48, and they're gonna do a special live tomorrow on, I think it's Facebook. So please check that out. They're gonna celebrate 1 year with Chiang Mai 106. And we also have a tour shot coming up this weekend, so there's gonna be a lot of fan content on Twitter that people should check out. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get some kind of announcement. You know, the sports day was pushed back to April, so we will just have to hope. And yeah, keep your eyes up for that. It's going to be so much fun. And seeing everyone together, having fun, laughing, doing games.
Oh yeah.
It's CGM48. It's just fun.
It's fun. I
Awesome.
totally agree. DX, do you have anything?
No, I don't have anything this time about. So.
That happens. I also didn't really have anything other than something kind of standard.
Same, to be honest. Yeah, like everybody I follow is like at the stage where they are preparing for a release, but nothing is announced yet.
Yeah,
It's like I
exactly.
know it's coming like soon, but I don't know anything yet.
Soon. Then we're gonna have to wait. Derek, do you have anything?
Yeah, two. One, yesterday, probably one of my all-time favorite idols in the entire world ever. Minase from Hisatsui Momomo 7, she graduated. And it was a very big blow. There was many tears shed by everybody that was at the show, myself included. Even her producer had a few tears. I have never seen him cry before. It was extremely emotional. The reason I'm bringing this up as a recommendation is I'd like you guys to support Imomomo. Go check them out. They need support now more than ever. There's only 3 girls left. Minase's sister Yui, who is the captain, the ace Mitsuki and Yukirin, and I don't know what they're gonna do. Imomomo does not deserve to go out at all like this. So Minase was a strong component of them, and so I hope you guys can take some time and look them up on Twitter and listen to their music. They're a fantastic group. They're very close to me. Those 3 girls, they're all like my kids. Like I work with them weekly. So yeah, please support them. And the second thing is, as some of you may or may not know, I put out a documentary called The Flowers of Passion, and it deals with the Chica world. I have so far released 4 episodes on Gumroad, which is a very cool platform that's really has artists at their focus. By the way, I'm not endorsed by them. I'm just saying that because that's true. But please, if you can, give that a look. There's one more episode to be released as soon as it's ready. I'm gonna get it out there probably this week. And then after that, I'm going to try to shoot for Amazon Prime and other bigger outlets. But Gumroad's just as good. I mean, the quality, no one's had any complaints. It's been great. But yeah, if you have any interest in the Chica Idol world, obviously that's where I'm coming from, even though, I still very much love AKB and all things AKB and love the K-pop stuff we talk about too. It's just a different world altogether, but it's still fun and interesting to talk about. But the Chica world's really where my heart's at. And so the Flowers of Passion, I think, is a display of that. And I just like say I just released episode 4 a couple days ago. That's the penultimate episode, and it's the one everybody like really says is the best so far because it is the most heart-wrenching. It's the most like gut-wrenching one, and it's very difficult to watch at the end, but it's very much idol. And so I hope you guys will check that out. That's my recommendation.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Marley, you have the floor. You can plug whatever you want.
So yeah, I already talked about Odd Eye and Dreamcatcher earlier. Again, a group I definitely recommend to you guys. But also, I wanted to bring something up which I haven't really gotten the chance to talk about in No Idol, No Life either, but I really wanted to talk about it.
Uh-huh.
So I've been watching an anime series called Aikatsu Planet. It's like the latest installment of the Aikatsu franchise. And yeah, it's just a really cute show. It's a really cute concept where basically half of the show is animated and half of the show is live action. So like the first half of the show will be like with live actors filming on like locations and everything. And then the second half of the show will be animated because the whole concept of the show is basically these girls who are working as idols and they can go into this virtual other world called Aikatsu Planet and they embody this idol avatar. And that's just a really cute concept on its own. There's so many other things that go into it story wise. That's really cool. But also I did get interested in it because my original Kamiyoshi from AKB48, Akimoto Sayaka, actually plays a supporting role in the show.
Oh.
She's actually an idol producer.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's really cool seeing her like taking on basically this mentor role of like, you know, an older generation of idols kind of leading this newer generation of idols. And you see an animated version of her character too when it goes into the animated portion and it's really cute. But yeah, I would say check that out if you're interested in that.
I actually wasn't aware. I actually wasn't aware about it. Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
I gotta watch that. I gotta watch
Yeah,
that.
it's
Yeah,
called
same.
Aikatsu Planet. They actually have a channel on YouTube. There's a channel that is uploading the episodes with English subs. So just look it up on
Oh,
YouTube and
yeah.
you
Wow.
can find it there.
Okay.
Link.
Link
They're
it.
I think they released episode 5 now. I don't know if 5 is out with subs yet, but I know that the show is currently up to episode 5. So yeah,
Okay.
definitely recommend that.
Amazing.
Okay, that
Amazing.
was awesome. So that was it. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to leave a comment. Leave a like maybe. Share it around if you like.
Ring
And
the
we see you
bell.
all in the next episode. Oh yeah, the bell too. Always forget about that little bell. Bye everyone. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Full house has ended.